Good. Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Johnson. I'm with Waseda USA. Waseda USA is Waseda University's one of its overseas office, and we take care of the North American part of the world. And so today, I'm happy to be here, and thank you all for joining us to hear about Waseda University's undergraduate level English-based degree program. So I am going to start first with a video. It's just under 5 minutes, so it'll give one, time for people who might be late coming in a chance to get in, and two, those who are already here, you can get a glimpse into campus life at Waseda University. And also you can hear some testimonials from some of the students who are actually studying at Waseda University. So let me go ahead and share the screen here.
One of the reasons why I chose Waseda is for its international student body. Not only are there many international undergraduate students, but there are also exchange students from across the world whom we can exchange our opinions with in class. As social science students, we often have group discussions on global issues like climate change and human rights issues. Being in a class with an international student body has helped broaden my perspective and understanding of such issues.
Why for both Tokyo and Waseda, I think, comes down to two things: support and access. Even outside courses, Waseda has ample support, both on campus and through partner institutions such as the National Museum of Art, Nature and Science. There are theater performances, academic conferences, guest lectures with world-class speakers, and all of that taking place in Waseda's inclusive environment, which goes above and beyond the already very high safety standard of Tokyo.
Waseda has a wide range of highly competitive English language programs from a faculty that is consistently improving over time, with some of the professors having taught at some of the best and most prestigious institutions in the world. I was relieved that Waseda University offers a differentiated Japanese programs for different proficiencies, even for non-Japanese speakers like myself when I first came to Waseda. So this allowed me to integrate into my life, especially within campus and off campus also. Waseda also has a list of highly competitive partner institutions, which allows students here to see different viewpoints and analytical perspectives, either through taking classes here in Waseda with international students or with exchange students, or having to go on exchange ourselves in foreign countries. I'm also very interested in the traditional, highly prestigious university options that we have for postgraduate studies following our tenure here in Waseda.
I chose Waseda University because of its esteemed School of Creative Science and Engineering, a great program, great professors who show genuine interest into supporting the students, and a cutting-edge research and laboratories. Waseda has a wide variety of English-speaking programs, and even if you're not comfortable with Japanese, like me, you can still study at ease.
Waseda has the largest dormitory in Japan. It's called Wish. I used to be a resident here in my first and second year, and now I'm an RA supporting all the residents living here. What I love about Wish is its diverse culture. People from all around Japan and the whole world gather together, and by living with all these diverse people, and communicate with them, I get a lot of new ideas and inspiration. In Waseda, there are various kinds of scholarships. In my first year, I was granted the partial tuition waiver scholarship. Moving from Hungary to Japan, it costed me a lot of money, and gaining this scholarship helped me and my family to start my university life in Waseda.
Waseda is great at giving you opportunities, especially regarding your future career. There are so many seminars and internships arranged by respected companies around the world. With the help of the Career Center, as well as the wonderful people you meet, such as professors, senpai, and alumni, you can really find the support that you'll need. Being able to hear from those who had once been in my shoes and getting the chance to ask those questions that can only be answered with experience is something I'm truly grateful to have here at Waseda.
Waseda is an amazing university, especially in terms of its internationality. I was first fascinated by how diverse students are. There were a lot of opportunities for me to communicate with international students, to make friends and share each other's values and so on. Now, thanks to these experiences, I work as a student staff at the ICC, Intercultural Communication Center, to create diverse international events that promotes interactions between international students and Japanese students, and also have a better understanding of each other. For future applicants, I can proudly say that Waseda It's one of the best options to make one step further into the world.
私の名前は桜井アナイスです。日本出身です。
Menu se forest asems Czech.
Hello, I'm Benjamin. I'm from Singapore.
मेरा नाम यश है और मैं भारत से हूँ.
Sziasztok! Gyarmati Rékának hívnak, és Magyarországról jöttem.
I'm Adriana, and I'm from the island of Guam.
안녕하세요. 저는 민지후고요. 한국 서울에서 왔습니다.
Okay, super. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that and that it piqued your interest to learn more about Waseda University. So I'm going to follow this up now with the main part of the presentation, which is a PowerPoint presentation. So let me go ahead and share the screen. That one. Okay, so this was a presentation. It's going to provide basically a brief introduction to Waseda University's English-based degree program at the undergraduate level. So before I start, I want to show this slide, which has a QR code to an inquiry form, which you can use anytime. So, we are going to have a Q&A session at the end if there's time. But if we do run out of time, or if you think of something later, feel free to scan this code and send your questions directly to Waseda University. You can use English or Japanese. I'll show this again at the end of this presentation, as well as an email that you can use to send in your questions. Okay, so I think you're all pretty much familiar with this, but for those of you who might not be, so Waseda University, first of all, is located in Tokyo. And Tokyo is located on the central Pacific coast of the main island of Japan, which is called Honshu in Japanese. So Tokyo, as you may know, is one of the most densely populated cities in the world. It's also a very important, globally important country. So very international. And with Waseda being centrally located in Tokyo, this means that it's easy to get anywhere in Tokyo throughout the city within just a few minutes, whether you're traveling by bus or by train, or even by bicycle if you're going to ride a bike. But not only that, they have the bullet train station nearby, Shinkansen, or the Narita Airport and the Haneda Airport. So it's not only easy to get around the country without any issues, but also to international destinations. So with this slide, I basically want to show that, there's still some people who think that Tokyo is just a big concrete jungle. So I want to make sure that we get rid of that myth. So as you can see here, there's lots of beautiful scenery you can come across in Tokyo, including some magnificent gardens and temples. There's a vibrant nightlife. There's the financial district that's home to like some very famous corporations, international corporations. There's Michelin-starred restaurants and unique cafes. And, it does get crowded in Japan and in Tokyo in particular, but there's always a way to find a way to take a breather. Like I said, there's very nice and big, spacious parks, quiet libraries, and some pretty tranquil cafes. There's always a way to kind of, take a break and recoup. So a little bit about Waseda University. As you can see here, it is a big school. We had over 47,000 students in 2023, and right now, and also in 2024, it went up a little bit more as well. So you can also see the undergraduate and graduate breakdown there as well. So one of the things that translates to is a pretty large alumni network around the world. So when you have a school that big, over the years, you amass quite a big network. And so what that means is that you have a lot of opportunities, whether it's looking for work or networking, socializing, internships, or just traveling and getting advice. A lot of things become possible when you have a huge, talented network like Waseda's. So this slide here is showing you that Waseda University has had 8 prime ministers who graduated from its schools there. And so I know you see 9 people here. So the ninth person is actually not a graduate of Waseda University. However, he does figure prominently in Waseda University's history. And that is Mr. Shigenobu Oguma, who was the founder of Waseda University. And he's up in the upper left-hand corner. Also in the lower right corner uh, is Kishida Fumio, and he was not the current prime minister, but the one before the current one. And yeah, so in total, there's been 9 prime ministers associated with Waseda University. Okay. And then here you can see Waseda has over 10,000 presidents and CEOs around the world, including the CEO of Uniqlo, which is a very famous and popular Japanese clothing chain, and the CEO of Nintendo, and also the founder of Sony. And this is just to name a few. And while not everyone is interested in the corporate lifestyle, this is just to give you an idea of the reach of Waseda University's graduates have globally. When it comes to international students, Waseda has one of the highest numbers in Japan. In 2023, it was just under 8,000. However, this year is actually close to 8,200 international students. And they're coming from over 100 countries and regions around the world. So this means that when you're on campus at Waseda University, as you could tell somewhat from the video too, you're going to hear a lot of different languages, not just Japanese, not just English, but many different languages from around the world. It's a very diverse campus. So this slide here, you can see that we have 800 partner institutions around the world. You can see some examples here on this slide, including Stanford, Yale, University of Oxford, University of British Columbia, and many more. One of the things this means is that, Waseda University being a comprehensive university, just like universities here in the States, while you're there, you have the opportunity to study abroad. And it's the same with Waseda University if you go there in this English-based degree program. You will have opportunities to choose from their partner institutions around the world. So you could end up coming back to the US or going somewhere in Europe, Asia, Latin America, or even Africa. So that is something to keep in mind as well. So let me get into student life now. So no college life, of course, would be complete without a vibrant sports culture, and Waseda University definitely has that. So they have 44 varsity sports at Waseda University, including the ones you'd expect to see, the usual track and field, baseball, swimming, tennis, soccer, volleyball, and those types of things, but also some unusual ones like race car driving and sumo wrestling. So as an international student, you do have the opportunity to, try out. And if you get accepted, you could be playing for Waseda University's teams. Waseda is all about creating opportunities for students to interact with one another. So with 500 student clubs on campus, you're definitely going to find something to your liking. Um, I heard about there's a citywide hide and go seek club, which sounds really interesting to me. But yeah, pretty much any kind of club you can think of. There's a lot of sports related clubs. You can do dance, art, things like that, but also some academic related clubs. So like a mathematics club or a science club and so on. In addition, we have the ICC or the Intercultural Communication Center, and they organize over 200 events per year for students to get involved with. And these are open to Japanese students and international students. So you have the opportunity to see other people showcase their cultures, and you can do it as well if you so choose. They also have various events like what they call it a language luncheon, where students who are participating in that event, they gather, they bring their lunches, and they sit and they try to talk and communicate with each other in the language of the day. So you don't have to be fluent at all. You can pick up some expressions on that particular day and just try to communicate. It's mainly just for fun and getting to meet people. And Waseda University has over 20 different dormitories to choose from. You heard about one in the video called Wish, which stands for Waseda International Student House. It is the biggest dormitory that we have. It has over 880 beds. And these are for domestic students or Japanese students, as well as international students. So you could very well end up with a Japanese roommate too, which would be great, especially if you are looking to immerse yourself in the culture and learn the language. So student support, we have a career center, which they talked about in the video as well. It's a great career center, so you can go there when you get closer to it, when it's time to start looking for work. Maybe your third year or your fourth year for sure. You can go there and they will give you guidance, whether it's like they do mock interviews. They can help with writing your resume for Japanese companies. It's very different from the way we do them here in the States. And also the companies are actively hiring, Waseda graduates, whether they're international students and of course domestic students. Then we also have the Residence Life Center. So this is where you'd go when you're trying to figure out where you want to live. And so they can help with things from dormitories, or if you want to, try it out on your own and live in an apartment, they can offer assistance in that area as well. Are you going to be there a while, 4 years? So it's a good idea to try, you can do a dormitory part of the time and then live in an apartment part of the time. Um, as far as student facilities, so if you want to learn a foreign language, we have 28 different languages for you to choose from. So it's not just Japanese. And for Japanese, we have the Center for Japanese Language where you take classes and they offer classes ranging from level 0, which is basically beginner, very beginner, and on up to level 8, which they call super advanced. And the super advanced also can focus on certain fields, specific fields for you to learn your Japanese in. So on this slide, you can see, for example, on the left-hand side, and this is what you do when you're learning a language, no matter what language it is. Many of you are probably studying Japanese already. And so you're learning listening, reading, speaking, and writing. But at the Center for Japanese Language, you can also learn that and have it taught in these themed courses, such as learning Japanese through commercials and the news, or learning it through anime or manga. And also the usual, like, more useful Japanese for like business communication, or if you want to see how to communicate if you're working at a Japanese company with your colleagues and your superiors and whatnot. So, yeah, it's a very good center if you want to improve your Japanese. So about expenses now, so very important. Everybody wants to hear about this. So as you can see here, yeah, so this is a comparison with the UK and the USA. So, Waseda University is a top private university in Japan. It's number one or number two, depending on the year. It kind of goes back and forth. So it's, but the tuition is unheard of here in the States for a comparable education. You can see here that it's less than half of what you'd expect to pay in the UK and less than a third of what you'd pay in the US. Here you can see a breakdown to give you a little more detail. So on the left-hand side, it's showing for the year tuition. So it's ranging between that US dollar amount you see there, depending on which faculty you end up joining. So the US dollar is an estimate. Of course, it's going to depend on the exchange rate, and the yen is a pretty fixed number here. And then on the right-hand side, we have the estimated living expenses, which is also, relatively affordable, especially someone like me coming from San Francisco Bay Area. It's very expensive here. So this is looking very attractive. So a lot of people tend to think it's expensive in Tokyo too, but you can, depending on your spending habits, these are average prices. So you can even save even more money than what you're seeing here, or spend a lot more if you prefer. On top of that, we do offer scholarships. So over 32% of international students do get some form of scholarship. We have over 120 available for you to choose from. There are needs-based scholarships as well as merit-based scholarships. And most of them are going to open up post-matriculation. So after you're accepted, they will become available for you to see which ones you're eligible for. This is just showing some examples. There are partial scholarships and stipends and things like that. So just as a fall, just a small number of the available scholarships that we offer. So let me get into the main part of this part of the presentation, which is the programs. So Waseda University has 13 undergraduate schools in total on campus. So again, it's a comprehensive university. It's a Japanese university. So these schools are teaching in Japanese to the Japanese citizenship. Um, but on top of that, they have six schools that have opted into the English-based degree program. So these six out of the 13 are also teaching classes in English so that students who join the English-based degree program do not have to speak Japanese to get their degree. So let's take a look at the schools that are participating. We have the School of Political Science and Economics, the School of Social Sciences, School of International Liberal Studies, School of Culture, Media, and Society, and the School of Fundamental Science and Engineering, and the School of Creative Science and Engineering. So again, feel free to scan these codes too. You can get the website there and also e-brochures. So briefly to go through each one, we have the School of Political Science and Economics. So you can see their majors there. There's a BA in Political Science, Economics, and Global Political Economy. So what's interesting about this school too is that it is fully bilingual. So the courses are offered in both English and Japanese. So you have an option. If you feel your Japanese is up to par, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, if you're afraid of that, don't want to have anything and just stick to the English, that's your prerogative as well, and you can definitely do that. School of Social Sciences. So this school offers the Transnational and Interdisciplinary Studies in Social Innovation program. It's called TAISI for short. And the aim of this program is to create social innovators. It's a mouthful. It's really hard to say, but and they train students to become leaders for social change. It's a very hands-on curriculum and faculty. So students will get out and do some field work. You go out into the communities in Japan, see what kind of issues they're grappling with, and you and your classmates will try to come up with solutions to those. Then we have the School of International Liberal Studies. It's a very popular school. This school only teaches in English, but still, Japanese students are joining classes in all of these English programs, by the way. As long as their English is proven to be good enough, they're able to apply and take classes. So you will not be living in an international student bubble, as I like to put it. You will definitely have many opportunities to mingle and, associate with the domestic students, the Japanese students. This school is also offers interdisciplinary classes. So for the first 2 years especially, you'll learn a lot of different fields. And then for the remaining 2 years, you kind of get to hone in on what you want the remainder of your studies to focus on. We have School of Culture, Media, and Society. So this is on focusing on Japanese culture, media, and society. So you will be learning about Japanese literature, art, film, music, and things like that. It's focused on Japan. It's still taught in English, but you'll be learning about, these areas that made Japan the country that it is today. Then we have two schools of science and engineering. We have fundamental science and engineering with a major in mathematical sciences and computer science and communications engineering. And then we have the School of Creative Science and Engineering for mechanical engineering and civil and environmental engineering. So if you're interested in building robots or city planning and that sort of thing, that would be the faculty for you. So about the application now, the fun part. So the English-based degree program, we see on this slide two things. Number one, when school starts. So all of them are offering September enrollment. So you're going to start classes from September. School of International Liberal Study also offers school starting from April. You can also see the number of students that these faculties are accepting. So it's not a hard number. They often go over this number, but it's basically what they're aiming for. On this slide, you can see the application period for September 2026 entry. So for basically, it's not as complicated as it looked. They all have a period starting from January 8th, 2026, going through February 10th, 2026 for September 2026 entry. Uh, in addition, School of International Liberal Studies does have that April entry, and that period actually has already passed for the year 2026. However, it's basically around that time that you see there every year. And also School of Social Sciences, they have a first and second rounds for you to apply to. Um, uh, so does International Liberal Studies. They have an early admission and a regular admission too. And that goes from January 8th through January 13th for early admission, which gives you advantage when it comes to receiving scholarships if you get accepted during the early admission. It's the same with the School of Social Sciences. If you get in between January 8th and the 13th or apply and get in, then you'll have more advantage when it comes to the scholarship. Social Sciences might have a third round depending on if they still need more students or not. So if you are interested in going to that school, you do want to go the regular application period. Otherwise, you're risking that they might not actually hold the third round. Okay, I'm going to move a little bit quicker because I'm running out of time. So admissions procedures, document screening. You're going to open up an application online. You're going to upload all of the required documents, and they're going to screen your documents. And often, students get accepted that way just from document screening. But, other times they need a little more convincing, so they might request an interview online. You don't have to go to Japan, and then they'll announce the results. What you're going to be uploading to your application, online application portal is your application form, which you fill out there. And you're going to have an English essay, and they'll provide the prompts, of course, for that. Then your certificate of graduation or expected graduation, academic transcript, standardized test results are still required. I know they're mostly optional here these days, but it is a requirement, not only at Waseda, but at many schools, probably in other parts of the world. So you still need that. And then English proficiency if it's not your native language and you don't meet the other exemption, and then you need to provide that. And then three of those schools on the right want letters of recommendation. So they accept various types of standardized tests. Usually, here coming from the States is going to be SAT or ACT. For science and engineering, you do have to make sure that your SAT, if you take SAT, has the AP with mathematics and physics and chemistry included. They accept IBDP, GCE, A level, more of a European thing, and many others actually. So there's other standardized tests from different parts of the world that Waseda will accept as well. TOEFL score, you want to submit that if you're not a native speaker, but also if you do take the SAT or ACT or these tests that you see there, then you get exempt from the SAT, the TOEFL or the English proficiency requirement. And this is just showing that they do also have an English-based graduate program too. So there's 15 faculties participating in that. So many opportunities at that level as well. So you can find some of this information that I covered by, just looking up the digital brochures or e-brochures that we have. Just input Waseda University e-brochure into your search field, and you'll get this digital bookshelf here, and you can go ahead and flip through that. You can also put IAO into your search field, stands for International Admissions Office, to get more information and get to our website. As I mentioned earlier, this is that inquiry form again. We're probably going to run out of time today. So you can send questions that way. You can also email us at info@waseda.list.waseda.jp. And either way, English or Japanese, to either of these places, and we will follow up with you to get the questions that you have answered. Okay, so that's going to do it for me today. I thank you very much. I'm going to close out here now, but we do have a team that's going to answer any questions you may have. You can just send those through the Q&A function there, and we'll try to answer your questions within a reasonable time. So yeah, thank you very much.